Hi, my name is Mark Woods. I'm here to show you today how to use the C-Motion wireless lens control solution for basically any camera that you can find. It'll work scaled from the biggest Arri or Panavision package down to the smallest Canon 5D, 7D. It's great for handheld, it's great for Steadicam, it's great for crane work, or any situation where you can put a camera in a place where it's either uncomfortable or not safe for the camera system to be right next to the lens. A quick clip can mount anywhere to an iris rod, and then using this hexagonal part, it basically just drops in. That's mounted. You can mount this anywhere. It gives you a quick release setup if you want to. I've got a couple of offsets which also have the Arri rosette on them and a 1/4-20 screw. You can screw it directly into the front of the camera. I generally choose to put the motor box somewhere toward the front, toward the lens, so that there's a short run from the motor side of the box to the motors, which are going to run your lens. The back side of the box has your camera control, your networking, and remote on-off, plus an antenna and a channel switch. Align the rosette with the back of the bracket. These levers can be ratcheted to end up in any position. The motor is a Hedin motor. Built onto it is a sliding bracket that's 19 millimeters in diameter, so it's set up for standard 19 millimeter rods. We can insert bushings for 15 millimeter, snap it in, you're good to go. You're always going to have some sort of iris rod set up to mount these types of motors. And then the gear pitch corresponds to the type of lens. All the gears snap into the motor. And basically what we want to do is make sure that these gears are meshing. This system will support numerous different motors. It uses the standard Preston motor configuration and on this end. So it can plug into any Preston motor without modification. And then this end is custom to this end. There's a red dot for the LEMO connector and a red dot. That's in. All the motors and all the cables are interchangeable between any channel. The back side of the box needs an antenna. We've got an Anton Bauer battery, P-tap, plugs in there. Again, I like to relieve a little bit of strain if I can. And this will plug into the RS port. The reason that these lights are flashing is because they're not seeing a signal from the hand unit. So the battery slides into the chassis and just clicks in. There's a release lever right here. Once the battery is in, the power for the unit is this button right here. On the side it says on and channel. The channel is a rotary 0 through 9. There's a similar control right here and on any other client. Hold the on button for 2 seconds and you'll see some lights come on. RF flashed twice in red and then went to green. RF means that it has a connection. If you look here now, there's a similar RF green connection on this side, which means the two of them are now talking. Hold down the calibrate button for 2 seconds. You'll notice that there's a yellow light flashing. When you let it go, it starts the calibration procedure. When it reaches the end of the focus barrel, I'll stop the lens. It'll go the opposite. I'm watching here for it to reach the end of the focus barrel again. It checks twice, and then it's back. Instead of letting this lens turn around infinite amount of times, which is what this lens will do, I created a physical stop by watching the focus marks on the top and bottom of the lens as it reached its ends. So now what I have is a lens that will focus back and forth from the points where I stopped it physically. By using the lens button, you can actually compress the range of the lens so that you only use a portion of the lens. Push and hold the lens button and turn your knob to the end of your range. Now what I've done is I've expanded the range from here to here to cover only infinity to 10 feet. So you've got a lot more fine control of what happens on the lens by pushing the knob button, covering a certain port. Now the entire lens is covered in a smaller amount of the knob's deflection. So we've now got the zoom control on here. The zoom control runs on what they call a China hat. Push up and it'll zoom in, pull back, it'll zoom out. It also has the same lens button. This hand unit, which is wireless or wired, has a multitude of connections on it. And now this system is running directly off of the one battery that I put in this handset. And I have control of the zoom without any of this other hardware being here. So this can work as a standalone system. In general, you'll probably have 200 to 300 feet of range with either one of these units, unless you're in a position where there's a lot of electronics or human bodies or something else